In today's video, we're going to be making two shirts. They are going to be one color each. Each shirt will be either a blue shirt or a red shirt. It's going to be 50-50 color and white, so we're talking super simple projects. And the reason I wanted to make this video was because I'm going to apply the dye to a spiral fold, so real simple, but I'm going to apply it in a way that I have never seen before, two ways that I've never seen before, and they're going to be very simple to do, and I'm kind of curious to see how they turn out. So I guess the first step is we will get two shirts spun up, and then we'll talk about colors. One thing I want to mention is that I do want the spiral to be, the middle of the spiral to be in the center of the disc, the biscuit. Sometimes when you're twisting shirts, just the way that they spin, you'll have the center of the spiral is sort of offset one or the other. In this case, I want to avoid that. So I'm going to spin it up, and if it's going wonky, I'll just start over until I get a nice biscuit that has the spiral as close to the center as possible. So let's go ahead and do it. I suppose starting at the middle of the shirt, like from top to bottom, that will also help. If you start a little bit high, then obviously you're going to have more material on one side or the other. So let's pick the middle of the shirt, a little lower than I would typically be starting, which is usually about armpit height, but not this time. All right, I like that. So the center is pretty well centered on the biscuit, right? Sometimes when you're doing this, it'll be sort of over here and you'll have more material on this side. So this looks good. I think I'm gonna poke some of these in with cuticle pusher. Just these sort of lumpy bits. I'm gonna stuff them back in. This is a Mr. Tie-Dye thing. So if you're poking around, you'll almost certainly stumble into his stuff on YouTube, but this was something I got from him. All right, cool. So let me get the other one spun up. I'm gonna do it off camera. You don't need to see it twice. And then we will do the design, actually. That's the next step. We'll talk about how we're going to apply the dye. Okay, I like these both. They're pretty well centered. Now we're gonna do one. We're going to draw a pattern on each of these. They're going to be sort of similar, but there'll be one distinct difference. And that's kind of why I'm making this video. I want to see what it's going to do to what might be considered like a standard spiral tie-dye t-shirt. So I guess we'll start with this one, and I'll draw a pattern on it, and then we'll do that one. Okay, so in a standard, I guess you could say like the classic tie-dye where you're doing like pie slices. You know, you might have a bunch of different colors. Usually it's maybe like a rainbow, but you're cutting the sections into like pizza slices. What I was curious about was what's going to happen to the overall pattern if we do some like swoops. So what I'm shooting for is like, I guess I'll do 3 large swoops starting at the very middle. And instead of just going a straight line to the edge, we're going to do like a big swoop because I'm not sure what that's going to turn out like. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, so now we got our little, I guess, I don't know, swoops is the right word, but I'm gonna call them swoops drawn on the pattern, on the shirt. And next, when we get to dyeing, because I'm gonna actually draw on the second shirt next, we're just gonna do 3 of these. 3 will be white, 3 will be red. And I'm really just kind of curious to see how that alters what the spirals look like on the final product. So let's go ahead and do the blue one. Okay, on the blue one, I'm going to do like lightning strikes, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like this, boom, boom, boom. This one's going to be a little trickier because I think there's not a ton of space here, so I got to be thoughtful about how much space each one is going to take up. Okay. Okay, that one's not bad. Maybe this next one will look a little different. Yeah, okay, cool. One more. Here's something I wanted to ask you guys. So I would prefer it if I wasn't having to move these rubber bands around as I'm drawing these patterns on. And I have tried using like painter's tape around the edges here to sort of squish the biscuit down. That way there wouldn't be any of the rubber bands in the way. Let me know if you have, and the tape just didn't stick. But I see some stuff on like Instagram where people do manage to get it tight. I don't know if it's just like a rubber band around the edge, but let me know if you have any ideas. That would be cool and helpful. All right, that was kind of the thing I was thinking in my head. I think it's executed okay. So we got swoopy, we got lightningy. So I guess now we'll go ahead and put the die down. So this is the easy part, right? Just boom, 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 flip it over, and then hit the same spots on the back. That might be a little bit more complicated on this one, but I think as long as I go, what I'm trying to say is matching the pattern on both sides on this one is going to be a little more difficult than this because of the nuance of the lightning bolts. But my plan is to just go really heavy on this top half, and hopefully a bunch of it will bleed through the back. But I think I'll do the easy one first. Okay, so the red that I'm going to use today is Dynamite. It is from Dharma Trading. Let me get rid of that. Well, I probably don't need to. One thing I want to mention, I'm going to go ahead and use a needle tip bottle because I do want to try and keep things clean in the center here. I also want to do my best not to let any color splash into the areas that are meant to be white because you can't take that back. So here I'm just going to be a little bit careful because I do want to preserve the white. Here's where I just want to be real delicate, and you sort of want to let the die, give the die room to move. So when you're working right up against the line, you just give yourself a little bit of space so that the die can run. I decided not to thicken the die in this case because I want to make a specific video about how to make thickened die before I start using it in videos. So I will do that soon. But if you make die that is thickened, it doesn't run as much. So if you're interested in seeing that in the future, that will be coming pretty soon, actually. Okay, so what I just did there was I marked out the center of the swoops from the other side, and now I just need to widen these to the appropriate amount. So even amounts of red on both sides of these. And I'm going to need to fill this up. Okay, for the blue one, the blue lightning, a little reference there, we're using turquoise, also from Dharma. I'm just going to do the front on camera because this is I feel like it's going to be a little unnecessarily long. So I'm going to do the front, and then I guess I'll come back and figure out what the next scene is going to be. Okay, so that's the pattern we're gonna go for. I'm just now gonna saturate this and do the backside. So I think after this, we will just let them sit overnight. I might rinse them out. I'm not sure exactly what the next scene is gonna be, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and saturate this, call it a day, and then we'll reassess in the morning once these have had, or tomorrow once these have had a chance to sit. All right, so I have both of the shirts rinsed out, and I sort of realized as I was making blue lightning here that as I was adding more and more saturation to the blue, the bleeding of the dye sort of started making these look more like just standard pizza slices. So I stopped to maintain this sort of look so that we can see how that translates to the final product. Now this one was very heavily saturated. It was much easier to do that. And I was thinking, okay, well this does present kind of an interesting opportunity. Because this one is so much less saturated, not only are we going to get to see if there are any pattern differences between the two, but you can also see if you like the idea of making a one color spiral. If you do this much dye, so much less, you'll have this result. It'll be more white, less blue. If you want it to be more saturated, then you would do this. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this red one here. Well, this is cool. This is kind of a neat thing that I'm noticing here. So this one is definitely going to be far, far more saturated than the blue one. But the thing that I'm noticing that's kind of neat is the pattern is more distinguishable. The difference between this and a standard like pizza slice pattern, the white is where it becomes sort of more noticeable. It's got like this scalloped sort of pattern. And I was trying to think if it looked like it was going to be, because we called this one like swoopy, right? And I thought, okay, well that might mean that like the spirals continue for a larger, one single spiral would be noticeable for a longer streak, I guess you could say. Let me go ahead and open this up. Yeah, this is cool because the your eye is not so much drawn to the red, but drawn to the white. Well, that's neat. So this one, I'm excited to see how it lightens up and see if we can get rid of some of this sort of, I don't know if you'd call that like muddiness, this area where it's bled just a little bit. After a full-blown hot washout, a lot of this is hopefully, and I think it will, sort of disappear, which would make the sort of scalloped, I don't know, you even might call it like turtle shell, this sort of scalloped pattern pop even a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get the blue one. All right, well this one actually saturated a little bit better than I thought, but it does have quite a bit more white. At the very end of the video, I will put side-by-sides of the shirts so that you can see them after they've been washed out and dried. So I'm trying to see, I think the thing that the sharp edges of the lightning created might be these little spikes here. So areas that are not as well defined inside of an individual spiral. So there are some down here. These are really pretty noticeable. It creates almost a bit of like a diamond pattern that's in here. That's kind of neat. Okay, well, I think that was an interesting experiment. I just genuinely like doing stuff like this where I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't practice videos like this where it's meant to be an experiment. I don't practice them to figure out what it's going to turn out like. But I think they're pretty cool and they're super simple. So if you liked the video, please give it a like. In just a second here, I'll put up shots of both of them side by side so you can see what they look like finished. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video.